Ryan here with Prudential Pest Solutions, and we are going to be treating and removing a yellow jacket nest which was in the ground at a customer's house in New Holland, PA, which is in Lancaster County. And we don't head down to Lancaster too much, but we are right next door to them, so this was only 20 minutes from the office, so here we go. So we had actually just removed another yellow jacket nest which had come through the ceiling in their second-story bedroom, and she said, hey, you know what, I think we have some yellow jackets out front too, so while I'm there suited up, let's just take care of these guys too. So of course I have my bee suit on. The product I'm going to use to inject into the nest is PTPI. And then I have that little pry bar, and that's actually for beekeepers, apiarists, where they will use that to separate frames. But what I like about it, it's a nice flat, rigid tool that I can poke and prod because, and most folks are pretty surprised to see this, but these yellow jacket, their nest is not right below the mulch there, even though that's where we're seeing them coming and go from. Oh no, no, they make it underground, and it can be 6+ inches underground. So what I do is I inject into the main opening first, and then I'll take my pry bar and I'll kind of poke it into the soil and the ground around the opening. And what I'm feeling for is if it's solid ground, the tool will just stop. But where their nest is, there's going to be a pretty big void. So if my tool if I'm sinking it into the soil and it just drops straight down, I know that's where the nest is. And we can see here, there's the top of it, and there's the void. And this was about a volleyball-sized void that they had created out of here. And you have to think that, you know, they don't have little shovels down there. Piece by piece, they've got that soil out of there so they could construct their nest. Now, these ground yellow jackets are pretty aggressive. You'll see throughout the video here that, you know, I'm kicking them off my gloves. One of them actually did sting me in my left thigh. But my philosophy is if you're going to get stung, and it doesn't happen often, believe it or not, for how many we do of these, but if you're going to get stung, at least kill the one that stung you. That's goal number one. After when it happens and I get stung, I'm going to kill that one by hand because it's personal. And to their credit, too, I mean, I'm coming in there and murdering their entire friends and family, so I get why they're upset. So once I uncover the nest, which is in that void there in that bush, or run it underneath that bush, see, they're all on my gloves, my hands. They're just trying to get after me. But I'm going to keep applying that PTPI just because I want to ensure that the entire area is treated, because when they create their nest under there, there's many layers to that. So if I'm only treating the top layer, as I start to remove layers of the nest, they're going to come flying out of there hopping mad, kind of like they are right there. Oh, and actually that's where I discovered the nest, because we could see a lot more just came out, and I'm kind of just spritzing the air right in front of me there. Just it's like fire for effect, just kind of get them away from me for a little bit. And they just keep going after my hands, because that's what has the most movement, or my hands, when I'm doing this treatment. But just like anything else, you know, if you stay calm, for the most part, they're calm. I mean, I'm in a protective suit. Sure, they can sting through it, and they did in this case. But, you know, they're not getting my face, they're not getting my hands or my feet or anything like that. So we just carry on calmly, slowly and methodically, until we discover, there it is, the nest. So in this case, it kind of flipped over a little bit, so I was able to get a good treatment going all the way around on it. And I'm just sitting back waiting for them to die. They keep coming after my hands and gloves. And I think what happened when I was sitting like this, when I was kneeling, I think one went up my coveralls and got in there, because when I was at the end, when I was taking my suit off, there was one kind of flopping around right at my boot, and I thought, you know what, you probably came out of my pant leg. So again, he got me, but I got him in the end. So that's pretty big. Look at those three or four big waffle-sized combs there. And of course, that white that we see on the comb, they do not create honey. That is their brood, or their larva, or their young ones, if you want to call it that. And they have a couple developmental stages. They go from egg to larva to kind of like a being with form. It'll start to have legs and whatnot. Now, that's where he got me. And then they'll emerge as fully grown yellow jackets. And hornets and bees will do the similar process. What's kind of neat is when I take some of these nests out, I'll open up some of those. You see that white there on the comb. I'll open some of that up and pull one out with some pliers, and you'll actually see them, being born. Now, of course, with the queen dead and all the workers dead, that progeny has no chance of survival. So they're going to die anyway, but I'm just going to throw my trash bag in my truck and carry on. So we're all done with PTPI. Since we got the whole nest out, there's no need to use any kind of dust or residual. We are going to come in at the end and just treat that soil around there, because there's workers that are flying around right now, and they're coming back, and they're not going after the comb. They're going after where that nest was in the ground. And are they going to die in the next few days? Absolutely. But I want to speed up that process. So I'm just going to use a liquid insecticide, and we're just going to soak that area there. Not soak, but treat that area there, just so we can just speed up that process. So there is our nest. We're just going to make sure everything's kind of cleaned up for the homeowner here. So what I tell these folks and all of our customers is, especially when they're at the front walkway there, I say give it a day or two and kind of steer clear of that bush, because there are going to be some foragers, and they're going to come back and they're going to say, where's my nest? And you don't want to get, stung by them. So, give it a few days. If it's not better, like you don't see any in the next few days, then just give me a call and we come right back out, because of course we warranty all of our work. So there it is. 4 combs there, pretty large, maybe dish plate sized, and that was all underground. So another job well done. We are the hornet, bee, wasp, and yellow jacket experts. We service Berks and Chester County. We will go into surrounding counties like Lancaster, York, Delaware, and Montgomery County. And if you need the experts, Prudential Pest Solutions is who you have to call. We'd love to be your pest people.